Hello, this is David Dean once again. Yeah, I have a lot of people asking me about the subscriber series and really liking it and wanting to get their bases in. And I am so happy and excited when I see somebody's base like this one. It is Kazamati. I'm just going to call him Kaza. But this is just awesome. What he has done here is something completely and totally different. It is a great build. It is a very strong build. It is a very different build. It is a very segmented build, as you will see as we get into it. And like myself, he has an absolute love of launchers. He is using them here at the beginning of Plankerton, how I was using them later on in Twine Peaks on my other account. But some really great, interesting builds. And also, he has done everything possible not to destroy anything. When I first saw the wooden bridge out there, I was like, oh no, great, now I'm going to have to tell him he needs to get rid of that. No, he incorporated his traps into the wooden bridge so he could keep it there. Same way with this one here, and you will see it throughout. And also, if you notice, a lot of places, it looks like he has intentionally not put a third tier of metal on it, going back and forth with the metal look. Also, once again, kind of giving it a more fitting look into the environment it is. I mean, kind of fitting in with the metal of the old oil derelict over there. And, yep, said that wrong. I know somebody will point it out. But anyway, let's get in towards the middle. And once again, here he has the building. He's even put his launcher on the natural building that's in there rather than tear it down. And where I say he's building segmented, he does not have an entire his home base surrounded. You can just walk in here, no problems, no walls, no issues. He's ran the first two Storm Shield defenses without problems or issues. It all worked the way he was supposed to, or the base worked the way it was supposed to. And I'm going to be, unfortunately, kind of running around in circles every once in a while. Trying to get around it is a little bit difficult, but that's because it's such an interesting build. And like I saw he built this here, I'm like, what are you doing? That's a horrible idea. And then I walked over and looked at it and it was like, this is an ingenious idea. This is great. And so I'm going to start over here with this great big tower sitting right out where a spawn point is. And I can not guarantee that every piece of metal here will survive all the spawns all the way up to Storm Shield Defense number 10. But hopefully enough of them survive that the tower always stays standing. And if you're looking at this, you're probably thinking the same thing I am. This is backwards because you have the launchers pushing them out towards the home base. They're not going to be the spawns wanting to go up there unless you put bait. And that's what he did. He basically baited the mobs into coming up here. At least that's my view of what he did. He can tell you himself if that was actually his plan. But he put two defender pads up here. And if you put defender pads up here, and as I've said before, one of the issues I have with defenders is that the husk will change their pathing from going to attack the amplifier or whatever it is to go and attack the defenders, having the mobs go somewhere you don't want them to go. Here he's using them as bait. So you get the spawns down here, you get the mobs up here, or sorry, the defenders up here. So now everything before it heads up there is going to try to find some way to get up here to these defenders. And in truth, you could entirely block them off. Put a wall right here so no range attacks could hit them. But now if anything goes underneath, those launchers are pushing them back. And the mobs can't come in the way I did. They have to come over here onto a fire trap, onto or underneath a ceiling electric field. He uses the wall lights a lot. And the reason he's doing that is to stun the targets so the launchers work more often on them. And also the dynamos have a large impact, taking down that impact counter. And what he does all the time here is these elevators. Some people call them, other people towers. Other people catapults or tower launchers. But yeah, you got the floor launch pad here, going up, hitting the 95, or hitting the 45. There's another launcher right up there to another 45, to another launcher up there, and then that ends up spinning them out eventually. Let's see if we can get a look here. Here is the, let's see, what floor are we on now? This would be the second, third. So up here on the fourth floor, you can kind of see in there the launcher going up and getting spit out later. And this is just awesome, and it keeps going, and it's just basically you're torturing the husk. That's what he's really doing here. It's not necessarily to kill or destroy the husk. This trap is set up just to really have fun messing with them and throwing them around, just for the joy of doing it, which I have no problem with. And once again, on the opposite side of this, they come in, launcher, 45, over here, and then they get hood over, up, and so he can sit back up over there and just watch husk a-flying all over the place. And I may just borrow this from him just so I can have it in the video showing it off, making sure he gets full credit for coming up with the concept. But yeah, using your defenders as bait to bring mobs in to something totally separate from what their actual target is, the home base, is just a cool concept. I love the idea. And once again, he's leaving all this natural rock, this beat up old car laying here. Once again, over here, just as this is a standalone trap tower that has nothing to do with anything else he's doing, this is another standalone one right here. As you know from this west side, the mobs usually wishbone. Some to the north, some to the south. When they come over here, you got launchers hitting them to the side, launchers hitting them up. Launchers send them 45 up to the second floor where a launcher hits them. Over here to this launcher, and then they get spat out back over here. So this is just sending them all over the place. He did bring up that he had Mechanist Harper. It was a limited time hero from the scavenger event. They have to bring her back. They really do. She gives a bonus of 25% durability to traps. The one thing when I saw all this is I was really worried about his launchers not lasting long enough in later missions. But if he has the Mechanics Harper and you slot your survivors with trap durabilities, then these will hold up without too much issue. But yeah, if they manage to make it through that whole nightmare there, let's see what he's got there. Just one more place to trap them in. Then they come up here. A few might go. They may have a little trouble getting around that edge, but if they do, launcher back into a typical, well, I'll say a bonus timeout room, because it's timeout room with a launcher to a 45, up to a second floor, to a launcher. That spits them out down the hill. Nice. All right, and then once again, if they get past that, we got more launchers with more 45s spitting them out to the south. They should try to go over here towards the amplifier. Once again, launcher, he is using freeze traps, once again, to freeze the mobs right in front of the launchers so that, you know, the husks are getting hit and even the smashers are getting worn down by their impact counter. So if they're not getting frozen, they're getting launched, which is awesome. They get in here. Once again, you got launcher, launcher. This one goes up 45 back over there and drops them down onto the freeze pad, onto a launcher back over here, either to this launcher over there or to this launcher, which puts them up on a 45, which kicks them back with the launcher here on the wall. And tire traps right above it. So this, I mean, once again, if I've done builds like this later on in Twine Peaks, and yeah, you're just having fun tossing husk all over the place. It's not the fastest way to kill them, but it's probably the most fun. So anyway, and if anything gets over here, launching them out, and we'll get back up here. And once again, he has a defender pad up here. And once again, that might cause some of the husk, instead of going for the amplifier when they get up here, be used as bait to cause them to walk this way away from the amplifier to come up after the defender. Once again, using them as bait. Let's see. Trying to see where I want to go with the jump pad. Here we go. And so the launcher there, 45 there, here to a freeze pad with a launcher and lights to stun it. So it's either going to get frozen or it's going to get stunned by the lights. Either way, the launcher is going to hit it and either kick it out on the ground or kick it here to up to a 45, and that will kick it out. Once again, this is just awesome. And once again, if I'm saying anything wrong, Kaz, like your name, go ahead and correct me all you want. Let me know in the comments how this worked out. But yeah, they have to get through all that and then finally get over here. Yeah, this is open if they ever make it this far. Right now, first several waves, mainly up to even Storm Shield Defense 6, I think this would hold up pretty darn well. The other part of the wishbone, not quite as complex. Been seeing a lot of people do the 2x2 rooms here just to do massive damage. Looks like he's just like a cat toying with its food. He wants them to come up here, take a little damage there, and then launcher 45. And over here, what has he got up on the roof? Nothing. All right. So, and this is also, I mentioned before, this ramp. You should close off this ramp coming up here. Nah, he didn't bother to do that. He wants them to come in, get hit by the launcher, get hit by the floor launcher, up to the 45 and out again. And then they're up here getting stunned like crazy. You do have dynamos every once in a while, but just a solid row of floor traps with 45s all above them. And if they get over here, and this is a level 58, so it's a decent level freeze trap mainly at this level. So it's going to be hitting a lot. Dynamo, wall launcher, and ceiling before they can finally get all the way over here to the home base. And I love this because this is kind of a torturing thing too, where you're saying, hey, my home base is open. You can walk straight into it. And no, they can't. So having fun. But we're going to get over here to the south side. Once again, some crazy stuff because I'm like, why does he have this thing way over there? There is no point to it. But yes, there is. Get on over here. He doesn't have all the traps and stuff set up here. So not really using it as bait very much. But he is using it as a good place to place a defender to just sit here and take pot shots at mobs. He does have the roof open. Not sure why, because if he has this guy up here, lobbers will occasionally attack. And he has it set up with healing pads. So if he wants to hang out over here, he can keep himself healthy and alive. But right here is roughly the spawn point. They're going to head up there, and once again, just another torture chamber. He has it here where these can take some damage and keep walking. I'm not sure. I think he can close this off altogether and just put a launcher on it, trying to get everything into here, which of course sends him up to a 45, to another fire trap with a zapper with a launcher that spits them all out down here. And you're going to hear me repeating that quite a bit because he likes doing that a lot, and it's fun to do. And then if they come over here, ceiling zapper, some wall darts. And you already saw this where they come over here and actually they are not going to be able to walk up here. They're going to have to beat through this metal here, I'm pretty sure. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And let's see, they can get up right here into this area. Most of them are going to head to that way. If they do get through here, launcher, launcher. So all good. This is just kind of a crazy build. They will come up here once again. As you know, I love launchers, so I'm loving this build. And he has his launchers up to 82, so that's pretty good. Really good for this level. So launcher to more launchers to more 45s. And actually this one shoots it to a 45 that spits it back into here. A great big trap area. This does a lot of damage and ends up spitting them out. I'm going to get up there in a little while because that's another great build he did. Get in here, launcher, freeze traps, launchers. This one spitting them out. 45 over here to this launcher, which spits them out. And yeah, just tossing them around like rag dolls before they can get in here to the final prize of the actual amplifier. Over here, this one combines with attacks from the east. And once again, just a ton of launchers right here. And this one, actually, if you come in, the launcher sends them here. This one has the 45 sending them back that way. This one sends them this way. So if mobs on this pad are getting shot two different directions, opposite directions, depending on which launcher hits them. If they get hit over here, then they're launched off, and he did, same thing I did, where instead of just sending them off nicely, you send them off into a trap pit and let this just eat them all up while the launchers throw them out. Drop them down. He just has the little freeze trap of the launcher here. And then when they try to come back in, once again, launcher sending them back down the hill. Somebody should really count up all the times I'm going to say launcher in this video, because it might be a few hundred times. All right, I want to get over to the one lookout tower. I'm sure there is an easier way to do it, but this is the way I'm going to do it. Once again, he has another tower up here with a defender looking over the area. And once again, he has healing pads for himself. He has a roof over the top just to protect from the lobbers. And yeah, can sit up here and just take out whatever he wants, or just watch the mayhem of husk flying everywhere. And and also on this, the ceiling electric fields, you'll see them popping through on some of his areas that have traps on them. From what I'm understanding, they have fixed it. So any new ceiling traps, electric ceiling fields he puts down, I hope they're not coming through anymore. They said they fixed them. But it's only the visual image of them, because you can just walk right through them, no issue. And it seems like they're still working normal. They just look real weird. But over here, for this coming in underneath this cave tunnel from the north, which now he has an amplifier, you won't get them there. There's a possibility of a few coming if you get a spawn from the east. And if they do come up, once again, launcher, and launcher here, sending them back down where they came from. And yeah, this is just an infinite loop right here. Actually, most of the stuff he does here is an infinite loop. Sometimes the launcher kicks out 3 tiles instead of 2. If that happens, then over the cliff they go. And back into here, same thing. And loving this. I am really looking forward to seeing what this guy does when he flushes it out all the way in future Storm Shield defenses. And let's see, that's we are going to get down to the amplifier build. He did do a big build back here to protect from the north. Unfortunately now, not really needed anymore for coming up this path right here. He had it really well protected with launchers and freeze pads all over the place. And let's go ahead and hit his protection here from the west side before we go down. Can't get over there. There we go. That works much better. There is a spawn point right here. So mobs, and as I brought up before, I mentioned on this bridge, you had to be, no, I took it out because I didn't want to have to worry about it. What he did is incorporate it into his traps. If they go down there, they're getting hit. And I'll look at those. But if they come through here and drop off, they're getting hit like crazy. If they make it to the very end and decide to drop off, they are dropping off into this trap pit. Once again, fire traps, dynamos, launchers, lights all over the place. Kicking them down here to more traps and probably off the cliff down into that area. But if they don't fall that far, you got a launcher. If they make it down here, you got a launcher that sends them right back up top. And this feeds into that natural tunnel. And this thing I've always wondered about. If you left this cart right here in this tunnel, would that stop smashers from getting through? Or, I mean, or at least slow them down. Will the smasher come in here and just start beating on this cart until he can get through the tunnel? So let us know on that also. But you're going to have the spawn over there, some up on top, some back in the caves, but the main one is back down the river. They will be coming up over here. And launch pads, if they come try to walk around over here, launch pad, all of them getting hit by the wall darts. Once again, launcher is sending them back down. As we've seen, the launcher goes through like the 45s, so it should go through the cart right here. Sorry. Then getting eaten up by dynamos and wall darts. Not the heaviest damage you can have in here. Obviously, he's not putting down floor traps and that many ceiling traps. But he's keeping the look, which I love. I love the fact this still looks all that original stuff Epic put in there. This launcher is vital. This is a great place for a launcher. As you can see, it's been used quite a few times. He's only ran this, I guess, once. So I guess, or this amplifier once. So evidently, this launcher got used a lot. But it just spits them down here off the cliff, or 45 launcher to a 45, and that spits them off. Okay, once again around the amplifier, just like his home base, not too big on defense, right up against it. His thing is to torture the mobs before they get there. So if anything ends up falling down or coming down this ramp, and actually we didn't get through that, and like he even leaves all the cactuses in and all that nice stuff. But over here, launchers, just basically an extended timeout room, just torturing them all. And once again, floor to another second floor one, and which matches up with this one, both of them going up top there. That has another, yep, that has a floor launcher on it that sends them up to that top area with another timeout room. Nice. This is so cool. Coming down here, tire traps up there, just beating and pounding on them. They come around here. Let's see. Oh, once again, this defender, okay, I guess it could be for shooting down there, but what you're going to end up with is the mobs from up here. They're going to want to attack the defender and go down here. When they go down here to attack the defender, the launcher is going to spit them out. I love it. More traps over here. They can try, let's see, go through this way. They may actually try to pound through here to get to the top of the amplifier, which it kind of looks like he knows and kind of plans for, because he got a bunch of traps to torture them some more. If they come down here, once again, all the launchers back in here. Once again, he's keeping this old water chute and all this stuff in place, keeping that artistic look to it. He will unfortunately end up having mobs come up here. The mobs that come up here aren't your standard mobs. They're usually the smashers or the blasters or the lobbers or flingers. And then they will either go back down here into his trap tunnel where it starts, or they will just come right up here, and he has traps set up for them. A few of them, launcher there. If they get down there, he has launchers and stuff ready to go. Freeze trap, dynamos, and then they get back in here, and once again, floor. And this guy, he likes being technical because he is having a fun time with it. Yeah, the techniques he's using, he is having great fun. Probably got that engineer type mindset. But all this in here, I'm trying to get around. There we go. Down here, and you saw on mine where I tore all this down and the husk would come out here. No, he wants the husk to come out there so he can get them down here to torture them. Over here, no traps until you get up here. Wall darts, launcher to a 45, and he's actually, oh yeah, I definitely wanted to show this. Once again, okay, we get the wall lights stunning them, the floor launcher taking them up to the 45, the 45 taking them up to another launcher. That launcher hits that 45, sending them back right where they began. Then they come down and go down, and they'll either come out this side or the other side, both sides sending them right back up where they come. So it's just, once again, he constantly puts up these infinite loop traps, which is great as long as you got launchers that are going to last through it all. And if they do eventually get through those launchers, there's just more launchers up here. Once again, doing the 45 for more traps up there. He is having a lot of fun with this game. To me, this is the way the game was meant to play. If you just want to go around and shoot things, hey, there's a lot of games for that. But Fortnite, this is where Fortnite earns its money and, to me, makes it something totally different for people to play. People just being able to get as creative as they can be with these builds, with these traps, and having a fun time doing it. I hated turning down this sign post. He kept it up. Good for him. All right, but that is so far all he has. He's only on Storm Shield Defense number 3 or 2. Nope, he got attacked down here, so he's been through 2. So 3 is coming up. I really want to see this guy's base when he does it for Storm Shield Defense number 10. I can't even imagine what kind of maze he will end up building. Like this one, what is that? 6 stories tall. So if we start down there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there might be even another level. Yeah, there's another level underneath that. So 6 high, where he is just, we'll go in here. Launcher to a 45, 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 launcher spitting him up, getting hit by the lights up above, stunning him. Lights here stunning them, and then trying to get it where this launcher will spit them out over the edge. That's just awesome. That is just somebody having a good time building an amazingly complex trap. So, alright, I'm going to stop going through this. I am going to stop saying the word launcher for a little while. We are going to go up to the top, get one more look at that maze up there, and then I will let you all go. Thank you for supporting this channel. I cannot believe the number of subscribers. I really focus on this base, or on my channel, on being able to come up with amazing things and construction and being able to get everything you want in the game to do this stuff without begging, without scamming, and by just doing the game. And yeah, I think I might build something like this. Hope you don't mind, Kaz, but I definitely want to show this thing in action. So I will talk to you all later. Take care and have an amazing day.